Aloha! Welcome to Just Talking 24, page 53. First of all, Happy New Year 2026. Um, and for the local people, this is the year, it's going to be the year of the wet horse. Whatever a wet horse is. Is that is that like a seahorse or one that just loves the water? I don't know. But it's going to start a great year. Mine's just starting with problems, so that's good. No, really, they're minor problems, and I like to, as you go through the year, I don't mind starting out with a problem because it's a minor one, and we'll get it fixed. That's all. It's just it's what it is my stove. The Sunday before Christmas, my stove decides to fry, and I thought it was the stove, but it turns out it might be a wiring problem that shorted out the brain in my stove. But anyway, I got a new stove. When they hooked it up and they turned it on, the signal came out bad line. So I've got to have a electrician come up, check it out. But my house is old, and the things in it are old. Like the circuit breaker is old, so I can't find it in Hawaii readily. So I had to order it from the mainland. Stuff like that, just minor. But anyway, I thought do this program about I'm going to revamp my first introduction, and I'm going to start the new year like the way we started. We started from the beginning, okay? But this is 53 and not number one. My name's Cam Pila, and I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii, born and raised, local boy. And this is just basically a talking, just talking. That's all we're doing. And I need you to give me ideas. Please subscribe. Please comment. I need ideas. I am a avid fan of YouTube and X Twitter. It's called. I just discovered X, and I got myself a blue check already, whatever that means. And I will discuss anything. In the beginning, I said no politics, no religion. By politics, I mean anything. I am an independent, okay? But I'm basically conservative. But I do not consider myself a Republican. I don't adhere to any political party. I just try to do whatever's good for America. I am an American. Religion, I do not follow any religion, although I was raised in Christianity. So most of my knowledge about religion is through the Christian teachings. Excuse me. I do believe in God. I totally believe in God. I just don't believe in religion. And then you figure that out, right? But again, any questions you got about God, not the religion, about God? And my beliefs are really simple. There are only two. When it comes to God, excuse me. Number one, there is a God. Really simple. Number two, just treat each other right. That's all. Just treat others as you want them to be treated. I try to be honest with you. Although a lot of times sarcasm drips right off of my tongue because I've always been a wise ass, okay? Always. When I talk about something, think when you're in school about the class curve. Okay, that's what I do. This way and then like that. And that lump in the middle, that's what I try to talk about. I don't like to dwell on the exceptions. Although a lot of people, when they start losing discussions or debates, will go to the exception. And there's exceptions to everything. The only exception that I found out that doesn't happen is you don't die. You have to die. There are no exceptions. Immortality is not, and is not an option in our lifespan. But yeah, so those are the two main rules. And it's simple from there. You got your free will. You know, we have free will. We have choices. and we have responsibility and consequences for our choices. But people have not learned that. They take that little piece of paper called the U.S. Constitution and they say, because I got freedom. Did our forefathers have to put in, okay, you have freedom, but don't have common sense anymore, and that's what I like to deal with. I like to deal with common sense. What it used to be, just figure it's right there. Like my favorite one is my doctor. I go inside and I tell him, oh doc, it hurts, man, when I do that, and he just tells you, don't do it. Simple. Let it rest, let your arm rest for a few days, and then see again. And if it still is giving you problem, then we'll take care of it. But most of the time, just don't do it. And then I have 5 idioms that I use all the time, and if you follow me through the year, I use them. My two favorite. I have five, but two are favorite. Number one is forest. That's my favorite. And forest comes from the movie Forrest Gump. Yeah, and there were some pretty good sayings in there. I got big gums. Life is like a box of chocolates. But my favorite is the saying that stupid is as stupid does. I mean, that's all it is. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, walks like a duck, guess what? It's a duck. Yeah, that's common sense. Well, that's my favorite saying. Stupid is as stupid does. So if I use the word forest as an adjective, that's what it's for. If I use it as a noun, that's what it's for. I use it as that's one thing. When you can take a word and do anything you want with it. I love our language. And they have. Right. The word racist. I took it to mean if you study the rules of the language, it's supposed to be a person who studies or who partakes in the race. And we only have one race, the human race. We have one race. We have five basic breeds. That's my theory. And I tried to explain this. For New Year's Day, I went to my friend's house, and we do this every year. Well, for the past 12 years, I think. And it's on New Year's Day. It's a lunch, and we sit around. And, we haven't seen each other. A lot of us haven't seen each other for almost a year. I see the kids growing up and everything. Yeah, it's really neat. But they asked me because last year I had just started. I think I was on page 2. So they said, "Hey, how's that internet thing going?" I said, "I'm still doing it, and now I pass out cards. I have cards that, it has the title. I mean, you Just Talking 24, and it has my QR on it and everything." They go, "Whoa, stepping up, huh?" I tell them, "Yeah, business card, stepping up." They go, "You still haven't gotten a good phone." I said, so I take out my flip phone. What? And they go, "We don't know how do you survive?" I said, "One day at a time." But I was trying to explain this to them about my idea of how, and I'll be getting into this further in the year if you want. Okay, it's my idea of how we got here. I really believe that we are an engineered, designed species. We didn't just happen spontaneously. We didn't just crawl out of the swamp as amoeba, evolving amoeba. No. That's what the scientists want you to believe. But yeah, that's one theory that I'm going to later on, I'm going to attack. Anyway, I told them, try to look at the world. There are 5 basic types of people. Okay, I mean, you got to think back, try to think back, it's like 2,500, 3,000 years. But anyway, you got red. Okay, you know where the red people are? Americas. All the way from the top, all the way down to South America. Those are the red people. You have the white. White are Northern Eurasia. Scandinavia, Russia, all those. That's the whites. Then you got the yellow, the Asians, the Orientals. Okay, and these are very specific. These are very specific breeds. Till today, you can see the difference. Okay, then you got brown. Brown is your Middle Easterns, Northern Africans, all that area. Turkey, India, that's all brown. Then you got black. Africa, the Aborigines in Australia, because remember they're the indigenous people. Then it went up New Zealand, and then all the Pacific Islands. The Hawaiians, we were the last archipelago or last group of islands to be found and to be colonized. And we are from the rest, so therefore Hawaiians are black. They fall under black. And you get those five. And they go, why you call them breeds? I thought, well, you look at them. Okay, think about it. We can mate. We can interbreed with each other, right? I mean, you can have a black person and a white person mate and form a child, and create a child. Yeah, so we can interbreed. We can exchange body fluids. We can exchange body parts. I got somebody's, I don't know who, but I got somebody's Achilles tendon in my knee. Okay, you get donors. You can, if your donor matches, he doesn't have to be of your particular breed. His tissue just got a match. And a lot of times it is the same breed, but it's not necessarily. It's not guaranteed. Blood type, you get O positive. You know, that was the joke I used to tell my patients, because you see, and especially they're Japanese, right? And they're worried. I go, what's the matter? She goes, I'm going to surgery tomorrow. I tell them, yeah, I know, Mama. You going? And she goes, they might have to give me blood. I said, yeah, but if they gotta give it to you, you're gonna need it, because if not, you die. Oh, I said, well, when you come back, because she's gonna go off for surgery, she's gonna come, then she's gonna go to PACU to recover, and then they'll bring her back to the room probably. And so she goes back to the room. So she goes, did they give me blood? So I check her chart. Yeah, I go, yeah, you got 2 units. She goes, oh, I said, okay, let me ask you something. What you want to eat right now? She goes, I'm not hungry. I said, you don't want to eat porgy bean soup? She goes, no. I said, what about sweet bread? She goes, no. I said, then you never get the blood from a porgy. And she laughed. I said, it doesn't matter, Mama. The blood don't know where it came from as long as it matches you. And then, I told her type and everything. I said, it's all over the road. And that's the truth. All breeds they don't have all the same blood type, but they are compatible with each other. It's not by breed, it's by type. Okay? That means we're all the same species. That's where I get this from. And it doesn't matter what color you are. And we're oops, sorry. Well, we're supposed to be homogenous. Be the ability to mix, homogenize, mix up. Yeah, we're supposed to do that. But because of our culture, stay with your own. Stay with your own. Don't marry out of your culture. You stay in your culture. And we see that all around the world. That's why it's still, you can tell where the red was, where the white is, where the yellow is, where the brown is, where the black is, because we still stay together. And that's my theory. But we are engineered. You look at us, the way we were designed, we all the same. Anatomically, we're pretty much all the same. And if you look at a skeleton, you don't know if that person was white, Caucasian. I mean, sometimes you can tell by the cheekbones and stuff like that. Forensic scientists can tell. But if you and I look at each other, the only thing I can see when I see a skeleton is a male or female, and it's got to be an adult. And I look at the pelvic bone, stuff like that. So, there's a lot of difference. But this year, I'm going to be exploring that more. Okay, and hope I appear a little bit more relaxed because I wasn't relaxed before. Because my system, I was still tuning my system. I got it down pretty much. I'm gonna change one more cable. I'm waiting for the parts coming in because I want this cable to be the professional cable. It's gonna have the standard, the industry standards best. That's what they say. Best connectors and stuff like that. And we'll see if there's a difference. Right now, I know you cannot tell it, but there's a 2 or 3 decibel difference between right and left. And I think it's the cable that I used. And if you understand, if you're an audiophile, then you can understand. But I'm just learning how to equalize it, make it all perfect. I cannot tell, but I can tell because I can see it. While I'm talking to you, I'm looking over a monitor. In the monitor, you got the levels, and you can see it. And you know me, anal sometimes, and I just want it to be equal. That's all. Just want try and give you the best. But yeah, that talk at my friend's house was really we had a lot of fun, and they asked me a lot of questions, and you look at their faces and got them thinking. Got them thinking. Then they started talking about the politics. Oh, and we. I live in Hawaii, right? And we are definitely Democratic, majority of us. But there were two, me and this other girl. Everybody they believe the news when it's all Trump's fault. Trump's tariffs. That's how come our tourism going down. Although we're posting almost record numbers, we're posting record numbers in the money and everything, but because of Trump's tariffs, everything's going down. No, the reason why is because we have a democratic state, and they just spend money and they just spend money, and they don't have the money to spend, and they used to. They used to depend upon federal subsidies. Our senator, our senior senator, was Daniel K. Inouye. He was the head of the Ways and Means Committee. If you understand politics, that means he can funnel some bucks to the state. Our state only has 1.4 million people. 1.4 million. Think about it. The population of America is like 347 million. Well, we've got 1.4 of it. So a very small percentage, but yet we're getting billions of dollars from them. Not as much as Minnesota. What a fiasco that's gonna be. But it's not gonna be just Minnesota. He's just going after Democratic states right now. It could be New York next. New York, California, Ohio. All these quote blue states. They better watch out because they're the overspending. It's gotta stop. But you see, the thing is, the overspending is both sides too. Republicans do the same thing. Yeah, they just haven't been caught, and they won't be caught as long as they play ball with President Trump. It's sad that it's gotta be they gotta play like that. It cannot be for the American people. Although Trump wants it ultimately to be, but then what happens after he leaves? JD Vance, he better get stronger. He better learn to be stronger, and not by following Trump, by doing his own thing, by showing that he is strong, just as strong as President Trump, but he has his own ideas. And right now, he ain't doing it. Tulsi's showing she got more balls. Sorry. See, that's why you don't want me to go political, because I just say it as I see it. But Tulsi, she just, I don't know. She's trying. They're all trying. But what can you do? I can't even imagine the avalanche that they're after. Look at this, like I said, Minnesota with the Somali stuff. They're just touching the surface with 20 billion. Touching the surface only. You know. And they got all this false, when you got the media behind you, you get all this false information coming out. Did you see that guy with the crappy New York Yankees cap from Minnesota, right? That didn't fit him. Was like, hey, wear this. You're gonna look really, you're gonna look American. But he's over there telling that they had a break-in and just the records for the kids, the enrollment of the kids, and I mean, just specific um, records were taken, and they expect you to believe that, and we're just poor Somalians. We don't know anything about theft. That's what the judge. That's what a judge said. Did you hear about that? There was a Minnesota judge that this guy was convicted of theft. And she said, no, I'm going to overturn it because he doesn't know what theft is. Okay, Somalia is the home of pirates and they don't know anything about theft. Somebody needs to reassess this appointment of this judge. But that's what I mean. That's what I get after. Stupid is as stupid does. It's a forest. That's right. I gotta get back to my list. Thank you. See, I digress. So we got forest. Okay. The second one is the river. I'm going to talk about the river. What is the river? The river is the river in Egypt, the Nile. Except I don't say the Nile, I say the Nile. People, when you get them back against the wall, what do? Bullshit. And they turn around and walk away. Run into denial. Everybody runs. It's just a natural defensive mechanism. And so I'm going to talk, hey, well, have fun in the river. And I say that I do tweets, well, not tweets, but I do replies to certain questions in X, okay? And these guys come back at you. And like I said, instead of talking about the main thing, they pick the exceptions. So I thought, and so my standard is, okay, you're right, enjoy the river. Because you cannot fight that kind of people. They're going to pick up, I mean, there's exceptions to everything. They're going to pick it up. So no sense. Pretty soon, people going to say, which one is the stupid one? The one with the idea, the one trying to make them see that it's stupid, You can't tell the difference after a while. So just tell them, enjoy the river, have a good one. Certain fights are worth the time to fight, and certain fights you just walk away. And that's what I do. So that's the river. Number 3, and I love doing this, and it's really hard, but I love to kiss. Yep, you guys know it. I love to keep it simple. The thing is, you've got to destroy all of their complications to show them how complicated it was, so that how simple the situation or the subject really is. And people jump into the river. Catch. People jump in the river because they don't want to see how simple it is, because it's hard. When we're so used to complexity, it's hard to think simplicity. Okay? That's the the overwhelming compelling thing about life to me. What they used to say, what's the secret of life? Balance. Perfect balance. God, to me, is perfect balance. He's not a being. He's an entity. He's an energy. He is a force. But he is perfect balance. When they say God is perfect, that's the perfection I'm talking about. He's not perfect good. He's not perfect bad. He's the perfect balance of the two. Because he's not only good. Sometimes you can be bad. So this, you do bad and you get forgiven. It don't work. I mean, they tell you that. So maybe because you confess all your sins, I don't know. Go to confession once a week. My wife, when we go to funerals like that, and we go to mass, she wants to go up and get the communion wafer. but she can't because she's Episcopalian and not Catholic. I said, what's the difference? They're both Christian. She goes, no, but I didn't go to confession. I go, you look at all the people up there. You think they went? You know, oh yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell him, priest, my deepest secrets. God knows them. Believe it. He knows my heart. He sees inside. He knows why I did what I did. But he knows I did it. Okay, I cannot deny it. I did it. I have never killed anybody, okay? Take that out of your mind right now. No. But I have hurt people. I was, yeah, before. But he knows that. And he knows what was in my heart when I was doing it. So that's KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. And that stupid is for me to keep reminding myself that, hey, last time I tried walking on water, it didn't work. I'm not perfect. So that's kissing. The fourth one is just the sharpest tack in the box. That's all. Nothing earth shaking about it. Some of us are sharp, and me too. I'm like a thumbtack. You get the sharp side, and then you get the flat side. A lot of times I'm the flat side, but at least I'm in the box. Okay, sometimes my elevator does go up to the penthouse. Sometimes. But then sometimes my elevator doesn't even have a penthouse button on it, so forget it. So you got the river, you got forest, you got KISS, you got the sharpest tack in the box, and you got the balance. Keep the balance, and that's the hard part. You got to keep the balance. But those are my basic driving forces. What forces me to tell you about to get on with the show. But I hope this show that this year comes out to be a great one, and hope I've explained how it's gonna go from now. And I'm gonna look for next week when it's gonna be something new. I don't want to get into well, even now, all the political commentators, they got nothing to talk about. Okay, we attacked Caracas. The port in Caracas. We've stolen the Venezuelan oil. We flexing our but we're flexing our balls. Trump is flexing, and the rest of the world is saying, okay, we understand. I mean, what they're gonna say? I mean, they can protest all they want, but what's happening really? Yow yow yow. That's all it is. And he's trying to show that this is what a superpower can do. What you gonna do about it? Which is kind of bullying, but like I said, that's the balance, yeah. Our other administrations have let the world run all over us, and no, he say enough. Now you gotta stop paying back. Yep, we've paid you. Now you gotta start paying back. Look at Africa. Africa is saying we're closed to all Americans. Why? What Americans are gonna go to Africa? Think about it. Which ones are the most apt to go back to Africa? And when I say back to, that gave it away again. The Black Americans, but they don't want the Black Americans over there. Because they see what they did to our country. They're going to go back to Africa. Africa going to have to kill them. Because they're going to go back there and they're going to see how backwards it is. They're going to want to come to America, and America's going to say, nope, you left, you gone. What they going to do? And you got to think farther than your face. Think farther than your face. But anyway, thank you for joining me on this one. Real fast. Well, it seems real fast. It's been almost 30 minutes. But I'm looking forward to 2026. The wet horse, whatever the wet horse is. A water horse. Sorry, water horse. Not wet. Portuguese. Water horse. That's what I said. Seahorse. I don't know. But anyway, you guys have a good one. Take care. Love each other, yeah? And hope that your resolutions, you can hold on to them for at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah, I don't have any resolutions yet. My resolution is I'm gonna try and make this a better presentation for you. But only you will be able to tell me if that's true or not. Take care of each other and ahui ho, malama pono. And for me to you, aloha. Happy 2026. Don't forget, put that down in your check. 2026. Bye bye. See you next week.